Do you feel there's more to tarot and you want to soak up that info? Get your sponges ready, here we go. The tarot is a divination tool that's been used for aeons and aeons, and there are many videos on this topic. I wish to bring to you some of that info, and also a fresh spin on where you can let that take you in your journey on life, regardless of whether your beliefs are on the tarot. The tarot is a deck of cards, that's what they originally were. There are many different decks that exist now, I'd say hundreds, is it thousands? There's so many different designs for them. One that's most classically known would be the Rider-Waite Tarot, and even though this one is the Golden Universal Tarot, here you go, see the front, see the back, shiny, gold. I actually don't use tarot anymore, yet I used it for over 10 years plus, giving readings professionally to hundreds more plus. So I have a lot of experience on it, I've done a lot of research on it, and I have something that is a unique perspective. Why you would actually use the tarot is because you want to find out more information on a subject, whether that be yourself, somebody else, a job. You've seen those cliche things in those psychic windows. We give you love, money, job success, passion, riches, your wildest dreams, the future, the past, what you don't know, your friends, your hidden enemies. There are so many topics that the tarot is used for, and I want to let you explore what I know and what I can and can't say. First off, let's clear this up right away. To be able to do in 25 minutes the definition of every single card is not possible because there's so much rich knowledge and symbolism. There's so much symbolism that goes into all the cards, so to actually commit to every single card in one video of the meaning is a bit ambitious and wouldn't be giving you the full depth that I'd want to give. So I'm going to give it to you in a way that is concise, clear, understand, and your brain doesn't get overloaded going, okay, whoa, how do I actually use this? Too much information. Have you ever felt that? I have. Yep. In the tarot, there's the major arcana and the minor arcana. Major, minor. Another way I think of it is the situation, your workplace. Your boss tells you, okay, there's a problem I have. Is it major or is it minor? That's one way if you could look at the major and minor arcana. The major indicates a more powerful forces at work. The minor can indicate, and that means that they're still not powerful, but that they're more of a quieter message, perhaps. Whereas the major arcana is a loud and clear, hello, pay attention, here I am. Here's what it is I have to tell you, and you're going to listen. If you choose to or not, that's up to you. The minor arcana, I will start with first, and here's an example. This is the Two of Cups. The suits are cups, which is water, wands, which is fire. We have swords, air, and pentacles or coins, which is earth. The earth. And pentacles rule earthly things, jobs, grounded earthly things, can deal with money. There's many interpretations, and so I'll let you go deeper on that and do the research, but I'll give you an example of how to read. Instead of getting on and on and on in the symbolism, which I will in a second as well, let's give a real example of, say you pulled this card, Two of Cups. Okay, so what do I do with this now? First thing I would recommend is you get the description book of the tarot deck that you chose, read what the symbolism is. Read it again. Practice, practice, practice. I've said this before in my video, how to open your third eye. It's a similar practice here. Is practice, practice, practice. Give yourself readings as if you were giving a reading to someone else. Practice as if you're doing to someone else so that you get to memorize and get the meanings. of what that will be. And then, if you really want to go deeper, look at other definitions. In this day and age, we are so lucky. Back when I was learning, it was in the 90s, and I was in high school. I used to give readings in high school, yes, and it was not as readily available, the information. In some way is a blessing, actually, because it allowed me to make more of my own decisions. I would research in books, but I would just practice. I knew the meanings, and I would make my own meanings, and I encourage you to do the same. It's the same as it is today. Don't get in the info overload of how many websites we have to look at a card means. It's just not going to serve you long term. Look it up, see what resonates with you, and find the deck that you like. That's what everyone will tell you. It's the same today as it was before. Find a deck that calls to you. It could be images. It could be the way that it feels. And we're talking about tarot here, not oracle. Oracle cards have their place as well, but this is separate. Oracle cards are more of a kind of a quick fix information. Quick, okay, here. I'm not going to say quick fix, but a less symbolic meaning than the tarot, which these symbols and archetypes of images have been used for a really long time, whereas the oracle decks are sort of newer. That being said, whichever works for you, you can use both. Again, I don't use any of the decks either way, and I'll tell you how I got to that place as I continue. Just keep that in mind. Okay, Two of Cups. We pulled this card. What does it mean? Well, Two of Cups, as you can tell by this image, let me hold it real close to you. Take a look here. You see, it looks like a very loving relationship. Two of Chalices, same as cups. See right here. They don't necessarily have to have it in the picture. There are no cups in this image. There are two people. They are harmonious. They look like they're in a very loving embrace. Now, whether that's, to me, that looks more like love, but you can interpret it another way. Maybe you get a feeling while you look at this card that you get like a reconnecting of maybe adoptive child finding their parents, or reconnecting with a friend that is so close to you, or longing for somebody that is a romantic thing. Pay attention to what symbolism pops out to you from the card. You may notice there's a rainbow back here. Maybe to you that symbolizes possibilities. You have to figure out what that definition and meanings are to you. It could be something as simple as the water flowing. Again, no coincidence, water, chalice. Remember I said the cups is ruled by water, and it's your emotions and letting your love freely flow to those you encounter in life. I hope you're starting to get the picture that there's many, many layers that we can see in many messages and what we choose to see with it. And that's why you practice, and you may notice different things and different feelings. Now that we've gone minor, let's go major. Here's an example of one of the most misrepresented and misunderstood cards, in my opinion, is the Lover's card. The Lover's card does not have to be about love. No. Can it be about love? Sure. I look at it in a different way. Do you see how their hands are clutched together? Again, to me, she seems younger looking than him. Not that there's any right or wrong where you want to have. Hey, if you're a cougar, not me to judge. That being said, do you notice how there's somebody in the distance? Could be that actually one of them is thinking about somebody else. Lovers can be about mutual understanding, communication. If we look at the terms of the Lovers, it is ruled by Gemini, which is an air sign. If you really look at the definition, there's the Toth Crowley deck. You may be interested in that. Find a card that has astrology, whatever your symbolism is to you. You can have more than one deck. There's not only one way. But that this message could be, it's time for you to reconcile the differences that you have within yourself on relationships. It's time for you to have those conversations. And maybe it's about breaking up a love relationship. It could be reversed. Sometimes we see reversed as negative. Maybe it just means that it's a different way of looking at things. Oh, I see here the hat. And you're sort of wanting to protect yourself. I'm getting the message that there's a loving relationship that you have, whether it's a partner or business associate, someone that you're really close to, but I'm seeing the need for protecting yourself and being cautious and aware of the words that you use, and being aware that there's something that is not being revealed. When you have a card that's crossing a card, these can be a story. I'm not going to tell you a spread to use that works for you. except I will. The Celtic Cross is one of the most popular ones. But it's fine to spread. You can look at those, research to your heart's content. Have fun with them. You can create your own 3 cards, past, present, future. You have that, or even just pulling a card. What do I need to know today? What's something to think about? And it's almost like a storybook that unfolds of how your question relates to what is coming in the messages here. There's a message going around that the energies of the deck need to match with yours. So I'm going to give you an example that this one, then you really connect with it, or it has to be somebody else's deck of cards, or you shouldn't take them. I'm here to tell you right now, it's a lie. A lie. Lies, 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 lies. Not true, not true, not true, not true. If you want it to be true for you, you go right ahead. There are cards. Let's be real. It's a tool, whether it's you using the crystal ball, your own intuition, cards, whatever. It's a piece of paper. So Alice said in Alice in Wonderland, I'm quoting it again in the book, you're nothing but a deck of cards. Remember that. Remember. Use this as a tool to increase your intuition. Actually use it in a way that helps yourself and other people. Sure. I did mine for years. But as I got better with them, personally I encourage using a deck of cards. Again, whichever worked for you. But if you're going to use it as a tool to try and increase your intuition, more knowledge, esoteric, whatever that word you want to use, find one that has more symbolism and sort of rich in pictures and symbolism that speaks to you. Again, I said symbolism twice. Why? Because it's important. Because the first deck I got, I liked the major arcana, but the minor arcana were just like a regular deck of cards almost. It was just like 7 of pentacles, 6 of this. There was no other images. There was just the 6 coins or the 7 swords. There was nothing else in the background. They all looked the same. Again, it was a great start for me to have a clear slate and train myself, okay, this is what this card means. This is what this means. 7, 6, 5, 4. It all is connected. Also, you can look into numerology and connect that to cards. There's so many places you can take it and have fun with it. But keep this warning in here. Here's a warning. You can become addicted to any form of divination. Yes, I'm going to say addicted. You can think that you constantly have to ask for wisdom when you really should, or could, be trusting your own intuition and being confident in your own skills. And as I said before, I'll say again, my story, how it relates to you, is I started with cards. As I started to use them more and more, giving them to others, I became more confident. Notice how my voice has changed. More confidence on my skills as a reader to help other people. And that I didn't actually need the cards. They help guide me, perhaps, and confirm, but it all was coming from inside. It was an image or something that came in my head or a thought. You've heard these things before. If anyone is new to these topics, maybe you haven't. You know, like clairaudience, what you hear, clairvoyance, what you see, clairsentient, what you feel. It's the same thing. And letting that come through that and have that happen. And don't force it. Let's recap on using the tarot, what that looks like, and where that's going to lead you. Here it is. Shuffle the cards any way you like. Deal the cards. Look at the images. Know the meanings. Find what works for you. Have fun with other decks if you like. Use whatever you wish, but know why they mean what they mean to you. If you're going to read for others, make sure you really tell them that this is just what you're getting, that they have the free will choice to change it, and that, you know, everything is not set in stone, the future is not set, that sort of thing. Now, you're giving the reading. Try to see if you can challenge yourself by not finding what the question is that they give to you. Feel free to change that if you want, but as a little bonus tip for you, is it'll challenge you to not use your own biases and just to give what you get, which is a huge gift that you may not even know. They may not even tell you that they were affected, by the way. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. And that's okay. Be okay with it. Have fun with it, but know why you're doing this is because you're looking to have fun, to access different knowledge, different symbolism. Sure, but remember, they're just symbols. It is a card. The intuition comes from within you. And that the more you use it, the more it grows. And know that you will become better, your awareness can change, and you have the power to divine just as well as the card does, or whatever you get your inspiration from.